Hey folks, welcome back to the MTG Sunday Jank-Off with myself, Ben Orbreak, and my friend Albino Cheese Monkey. Monkey, as I always ask, what colors are you playing today and what is your deck name?
Hello, Ben. I am doing the first of the official rejanks. So, what does
No
that
jank
mean?
like a rejank.
That means I have taken one of the first decks I played on stream. It was somewhere in the first few. Inherited Power. I have added some power. I've given it a color, black, so it is now a green black white deck, Abzan. And I've also added some cards from Tarkir into it to sort of really get it going. I call this rejank Ancestral Power.
Ancestral power instead of inherited power.
Yes.
Interesting.
We've upgraded.
You're looking at inherited power from episode 2 if y'all want to go back in time and see what the former form of this deck was.
I suggest you watch it from Ben's perspective because I was working out some technical issues at that time.
Okay, fair enough.
To be honest, yeah.
YouTube channel is Ben or Break. It's in the Jank-Off playlist, episode 2. Today, I am playing Orzhov again. The deck name is Up and Down. And whoever's looking at my hand can probably recognize why that is. So,
oh wow, you're right. I can see why. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not looking at your hand.
You shouldn't be able. I hope not. These hands are private.
That's right.
Private. All right. So we'll do our blind best of one to start with. A deck tech once we've realized what the others are playing. And some best of threes after that to determine who has the powerfulest jank this Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, let's resolve these mulligans.
This is fine.
My opponent is on the play.
This is fine.
Fine is fine.
Yeah. I don't love it.
All right, press
I don't
that
hate
keep
it.
button then. I also keep.
Let's get the tap land out of the way.
Tippity tappity. Just a black land here.
Yeah, here's an old friend from Inherited Power.
Okay, well I must reluctantly roll that thing into the graveyard.
Okay. Here's an old friend from
The momentum
Inherited
is
Power.
broken. Okay.
But also a missed land drop.
Let's run that back.
Okay.
Ooh, a Bleachbone Verge friend.
Yes. Now here is a new card.
Sultai. Hey, wait a minute. You're playing an Abzan deck and you chose the Sultai mode?
Yes.
Scammed.
And here's an old friend from the Inherited Power deck.
Well, that's going to immediately draw you a card, isn't it?
It is.
Well, that's neat. Okay. We pass.
Oh, you didn't want to break that momentum, I guess. Here's an old friend from... I'm going to stop saying that now. I'm sorry.
Beginning. Dirty rejanker. All right. At the beginning of your end step, do one of these things. Okay. Your Bond Warden has nowhere to run.
Okay. No card at the end of my step for me.
Yeah. Sorry. We have a pretty good hand here.
Well, I've only seen 3 of the cards. I haven't been impressed. And by that I mean I'm impressed.
And by that you mean, what are you impressed about?
Okay. What do you think about this one?
Paw Patch, alright. That's good against targeted removal. But
yes.
Half my removal doesn't target.
Well, I've seen both versions.
So, if that Paw Patch Recruit were to cease to exist... Okay, I see. Yep, you draw a card.
Not that you'd be able to do that, though, right?
I'd like to show you a new card to the Jank-Off. Clay-fired bricks.
I've always wanted to make that card work. You got there first.
Behold my array of 2-drop non-land, non-creature permanents.
Oh, that is interesting.
And then I've got a 3-drop non-creature, non-land permanent to follow it up.
Ah, I see.
But Cheese Monkey, what have I done? I've locked up 3 of your permanents and 4 of mine. How is that a good exchange for me?
It's odd. Quite odd. Here's a new card. Let's go ahead and get it to 4 power immediately. And
That's
make
a
a
good idea.
raccoon.
Look at all those critters.
I'm running out of cards, though.
Alright. You pass.
Pass. I don't like pass. Why are you giving me a pass? I'm gonna hit you.
Okay. Last year, Revenant. I will not be targeting.
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna put all of her counters on the Revenant.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah. Artifact.
Another new card to Jank-Off.
Now, why would you be giving my stuff back?
Good question.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I chose Abzan this time.
Let's see here. How do I want to order this?
Oh, so that you can... I got you. I got you.
Okay, so we do that. Okay, no, we have to order it like this.
Is there a reason it didn't fire again?
I'm still ordering my triggers.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Alright, this is the correct order. Sorry. This is the deck that I've had that requires the most ordering of triggers.
I'll draw a card out of it, hopefully. No, wait, no, I chose the wrong one. What am I thinking? Discard. Well, I don't think I'm gonna need that.
There might be creatures in here.
Yeah, I don't know, who knows?
I have a creature land on board. Look, here's another land that makes... This one makes creatures.
Oh, well. You do what you do. Sometimes you do the do.
Again. Sorry, I need to think.
That's fine. When you have to think, that makes me feel like I'm doing all right. I'm not doing okay, though. I'm
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had your Keyforge tournament today.
Yeah, I did all right.
This weekend. How did that go?
Well, I didn't run into any Orzhov control decks. It was good. It was good. So the first day, I opened my sealed decks, and I went 0-2. And then,
Uh-oh.
then I got to have a whole bunch of fun, but my wife went 4-2 and had to do a play-in game against one of our friends. So mostly sad, but a little bit happy that at least when she was eliminated in the play-in game for Top Cut, it was by one of our friends.
Right.
And then the next day, which is the equivalent, Keyforge is the equivalent of Constructed, right? So you don't build your deck in Keyforge, but I brought, a deck that I had been practicing with that I had open sealed at some point in my life. And that went much better for me. This time, Jen went 1-2, but I won 3-1 and then had to play in a play-in game for Top Cut, and I lost. So, didn't quite make Top Cut, but the same friend went on to get to the final game and was in second place, and my deck beat his deck in testing a couple of times. I don't need to tell you how many times we tested before I had to beat it, before I actually beat him, but
Oh.
But all I can say is, did you know that my deck beat the number 2 deck at the tournament? Once, twice, at some point in its history, over a number of games. I think it was like 15. I think. But when it comes to Keyforge, really, I would much prefer to bring. Keyforge meta is weird, right? So we don't have. Nobody's playing the same deck because you can't. So you just kind of it's a lot more fun to just pick your favorites. Pick ones that's good, like a best one in your collection, but one that you actually are going to enjoy playing because you're going to be playing it a lot. And I did that, and it went well. 3-2 is actually the best I've done. So almost made Top Cut. So we're getting there. I have a tendency to bring the best meme deck in my collection. So the fact that I went 3-2 is.
Why does that not surprise me?
Is the fact that I almost made Top Cut with one of my favorite meme decks is that's a win.
Well, thank you for the counters on my Phyrexian Might, by the way.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. That was your strategy, wasn't
okay.
You got me talking.
No, the Might just gets exiled.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. So overall, it was a good experience. We both performed well. My wife and Sealed and me and Thing, and overall our crew of players. We had. It's not a team, right? But there's 6 of us from the local area that joined the tournament and felt like we were defending our home turf because the tournament was here in town, and we had a good showing. I think 2 of us made Top Cut, and one of them was in Top Cut for 2 tournaments. So overall, it was a good time. No regrets. 3 days of playing Keyforge, roughly 8 hours a day.
Keyforge Vault Tour.
While all of the people on the other side of the store playing their commander pods gave us sideways glances, wondering what the heck, thinking I thought that game was dead.
Is it?
No, it's not dead. It's not very much.
Okay.
There's an active online community with a fan-made client where you can practice and play. You may not have a local scene. I'm fortunate to have one, but they're easy to build because the game sells itself.
All right, folks, Keyforge. Check it out if you like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
don't like deck building as much.
In fact, Keyforge was recently mentioned as Richard Garfield's second favorite game he ever designed after Magic on a recent podcast with Tulare Community College and a professor. By recent, I mean 3 or 4 days ago. So go check out that interview. It was good. Not just because it had Keyforge in it. Also, I'm dead. I just noticed.
You're very dead. You've been dead for several turns, really. But I didn't want to interrupt your talking.
Yeah, it's good. Going through the motions, talking about my weekend, slowly getting massacred. I'd expect nothing else from Jank-Off. Good game.
All right, folks. We got to see some of what both decks can do. I think that's enough to go to our deck tech for tonight.
Well, plus mine's a bit of a rejank, so you're going to be familiar with roughly half the deck, I think.
All right, well, then go ahead and go for it then.
Sure. I'll start with the returning players for those who decided to watch that game instead of go back and watch Ben's video. Returning is Stocking the Pantry, Enduring Bond Warden, Reluctant Role Model, Explorer's Cache, Sylvan Scavenging, and Exemplar of Light. So roughly half the deck. If you remember, the idea of Inherited Power was to generate value in the form of +1/+1 counters, to sort of think of them as our currency, but not just that, but to bank them. So we're banking them in the form of cards later in Stocking the Pantry. We're literally banking them on Explorer's Cache, and Reluctant Role Model and Enduring Bond Warden can share the wealth as it was and pass it around. In addition, in the previous version of the deck, I had Exemplar of Light as a draw engine. I now have 2 of those because I have Hollowmurk Siege, which does the same thing. Depending, early game, it depends on how much counter generation I have in my opening hand after potential mulligans, whether I choose Sultai or Abzan first. But in that last game, I went Sultai first because I had the Enduring Bond Warden in my hand already.
Yeah, it was a good turn.
Yeah. So, Herd Heirloom is also a card that I'm testing as a one-of because I think it would be good in my deck. It looks like there's kind of a 2-mana rock in Standard now, though you have to use it on creatures. Most of my creatures, if not killed immediately, will reach above 4 power, and they will be hitting people and drawing me more cards, hopefully. That's the idea. Sylvan Scavenging is, I shouldn't tell Ben this, but Sylvan Scavenging is kind of the core of the deck because it gives me bodies to put counters on, and it gives me counters every single turn. With that in mind, I've also added Elspeth Stormslayer, which is a game-ending bomb of a threat, which makes the Sylvan Scavenging make 2 raccoons, among other things, passively, and can also end the game with her 0 power ability. I really like that in lieu of an ultimate, there's something actually kind of useful, and that you can dub 3 counters and use her as removal. Because I don't run a ton of removal main board, I run Joust. I've chosen Joust through over Elspeth Smite because that 1 life can actually trigger my Exemplar of Light. And
good call.
Yeah. And I decided I'd rather sometimes have a card than sometimes exile. Was that a good call? I don't know, but I like trying to play cards that other people aren't, and I don't think anyone's playing Joust through. So, that's it. True.
Yeah, I mostly see Elspeth Smite.
I think the one thing that I forgot to mention, also new card, Carsey Revenant, because now we have access in Tarkir to not just +1/+1 counters, but all sorts of counters. To be fair, Reluctant Role Model was already providing the flying counter and the lifelink counter, but now we've got more of those and a death touch counter. So, notably in the set, there's also trample counters and reach counters, but they weren't good.
Those are less useful, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't good.
Flying, generally better than trample. Lifelink, generally very
silly,
good.
Yes. Good, no. There were some other cards I would have liked to have fit in here, like Enduring Bond Warden, who gives herself a +1/+1 counter at the end of every turn. And then anything creature that comes in endures, which means it either makes a token or makes a counter based on how many counters she has, but it's slow, and in testing, nobody lets it live long enough to do anything. Very, very good card in draft, though. And
all right.
Yeah, that's it. Ancestral Power, a play on the fact that I've converted Inherited Power to Abzan. Lore heads will know what I mean.
Looks like you've got your Verge mana base, supported by some Surveil lands and fast lands.
Yep.
Solid.
And 1 Captivating Cave in case of emergency need of counters on Exemplar of Light or something.
All right, and what we are playing today, and by we, I mean me, is Up and Down. The game plan, as we saw, was lock them down, pick them up. The key card of the deck is Temporary Lockdown. So this is a deck that I've had in the works for months, since the Pro Tour Aether Drift, really. Ben Stark had an Orzhov list with some temporary lockdown control bounce synergies. He relied more heavily on top-end threats like Sheoldred and Overlord of the Hauntwoods, but with Dragonstorm coming out, we got the Sun Pearl Kirin in addition to Nurturing Pixie, which we already had as a bounce enabler, something to return our cards to hand. Sun Pearl Kirin is a 2/1 for 2 with flash and flying that returns another non-land permanent I control to its owner's hand, and if it was a token, draw a card. We don't care too much about the token mode here, but it does come up sometimes. Mostly we just want it to save our stuff from removal and bounce our repeatable, basically sorceries on a permanent. Temporary Lockdown is the foremost because it lines up so well in the current meta. You were seeing this deck actually. I didn't see much during testing for it, but just this past week, when I'm testing the next deck, the deck for next week, I saw multiple Orzhov Temporary Lockdown Pixie bounce decks like this one. So I would have liked to get this out sooner, but we're on a schedule, and we're sticking to it because we like streaming with y'all. And this is kind of my version of it that I refurbished with Kirin coming out. So Temporary Lockdown is our main bounce plan. The big thing it does in the current meta is it deals with Corey Steelcutter efficiently in a way that many cards can't. Many cards are using spot removal on the artifact or on the monk token, but not both. Temporary Lockdown sweeps them all up, in addition to any Monastery Swift Spears, Slickshot Show-Offs, otter tokens generated by Stormpier's talent, and the talent itself. Basically, the entire Izzet Prowess deck that we're seeing come into play with Dragonstorm, Temporary Lockdown answers it. All their permanents are mana value 2 or less, so this just sweeps them up entirely. That's why it's so good. It's also good against mono red. It doesn't hit Screaming Nemesis, but basically everything else. And reasonable against other Pixie decks, notably Esper Pixie that we've had in the meta for a few months. Notable that we're playing a lot of low mana value permanents ourselves. We actively want them under lockdown, as we saw this last game. We want our Hopeless Nightmares, our Momentum Breakers, our Nowhere to Runs, even our Wishclaw Talismans. I'm not going to say exactly what the synergy is for this, but I saw CGB playing it in one Orzhov deck, relying on lockdown. And I just needed to include one copy as a tribute. This is some good stuff. Clay-Fired Bricks, all these permanents we basically want under our lockdown so that when the lockdown gets picked up, they come back into play, re-trigger their effects, making the opponent lose life, discard cards, sacrifice creatures, giving the creatures -1/-1, get us planes, get us life. It's an engine. Sun Pearl Kirin and Nurturing Pixie are the creatures that support that engine, in addition to Scroll Shift. This is something I haven't seen much of used in these lockdown decks. It's just a way to trigger our lockdown again, or any of these other permanents again, if we need to, and it draws a card. It also has really good interaction with Overlords. We're only running one Overlord mainboard currently, but we have some sideboard. If you impend the Overlord for, in Balemerk's case, 2 mana, and then Scroll Shift it, you get the Balemerk back as a full creature immediately. And it re-triggers its center of the battlefield, and you draw a card from Scroll Shift. It's really good value, and you can do it at instant speed. You can surprise block with it. It's really good stuff. I probably shouldn't have said that. Now my friend will be watching out for this as we go into our best of 3 games to determine who is the Jank King. Okay. No, nothing. Let's get this rolling.
All right.
All right, I am sending the challenge. So, folks, as a reminder for our Jank-Off format, we did our blind best of 1. We just finished our deck tech, and now we've got a best of 3 or 2 to determine whose Jank is the strongest Jank. This will be with sideboards, of course. We've kept those secret from each other, and I think we have some good tech. I'm worried about what our opponent might have. Maybe they're packing Ray of Ruin.
I mean, if you see black in my deck, you should always be wondering, could it be Ray of Ruin?
Could it be? Or maybe if I don't see black in your deck, there's ways to fix colors for it. It's a powerful card.
Having some knowledge of your deck, I don't know if this hand is going to do it.
Also, as a reminder, folks, if you want to see both of our hands at the same time, pull up both streams. Just mute one of us. I think we're running different music, but otherwise the experience should be the same.
Fortunately, this hand is worse. I should have kept the other one.
It's got one less card. It's got to be worse.
Yeah, well, it's got 1 land, and I'm tempted to keep it because you know how much we love keeping one land hands around here. But I
I can
probably
neither
shouldn't.
confirm, advise, or not. Yeah.
This is the worst hand yet. Um,
Oh my.
I
Okay,
mean,
if it helps, I don't have Hopeless Nightmare opening hand. So you're
I'm
probably going to keep all your cards.
I'm in danger. I'm gonna keep this one, and we are gonna believe in the heart of the cards together.
Okay. You're on the draw, right? That should help.
Yes, I didn't pay attention. I always forget to look at that because I'm a terrible player. I'm actually I have a lot of fun. All right, we're fine. It's fine. We'll get a spell we
Alright,
can
you're on the
cast.
draw,
I'm sure
so-
it'll be good.
Say no to Swamp.
That's not a spell I can cast, but we'll get one. We'll get one. You know what? Against his deck, maybe I just shouldn't cast any spells. Maybe that's the secret to victory.
You think I'll deck out first? I will now. I surveilled a card.
Yeah,
I pulled another card out of
you
my hand with
did.
my bricks. I'll deck out 2 turns sooner.
That's wild. Okay, I'll play it.
Let's see if your Bond Warden will endure. I want more bricks.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We've endured. But will it do 1 damage? It will.
Yeah.
Let's get some more friends for you to remove.
Well, since you asked so nicely.
Oh, I hope you enjoy that I laugh whenever you hurt me.
Oh, does it hurt? Oh no. It's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah, actually, I do need that.
Okay. Kind of a weird play, but let's break some
Interesting.
momentum.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. I like not seeing that in your hand.
Sure.
What would you
do.
keep in preference to Elspeth? Let's see another. Okay, Beza, very good card.
I would keep another Elspeth.
You did keep another Elspeth.
Now, here's the thing: you want me to kill your temporary lockdown, don't you? No.
It can't.
Not-
It has
not-
to be a creature.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, let's see
You
what
leave
your
my pixies unimpeded?
let's see what your planeswalker removal looks like.
Doesn't really matter.
Oh no, he's going fast.
My turn.
Chat, I hope you can see my hand. It's good for it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
That smells like a land to me.
Also, Elspeth only destroys creatures with mana value 3 or greater.
Oh, can't even destroy the pixie. I was
Yeah.
kind of hoping you'd go for it. But, okay.
On God!
Ouch. Since you commented on it, let's see what's in that hand. I think it's just a land. Oh, that was good. That was my second guess, to be fair.
I think there's
All right,
3 in the deck, so...
Yeah. We've run them out of Elspeths. Fortunately, I'm killing 1 soldier per turn. And my opponent is generating 2. This is a fun game.
This is how magic as Garfield intended.
I like magic. Ironically, the Restless Fortress will eventually kill you, even though it's not even attacking you.
Yes. That's right. Okay. That's not a
Elspeth
1/1
is a
soldier.
little bit hard to get ahead of, isn't she?
I'm not sure if you have some sort of wither effect, so just keep blocking with the tokens, 'cause they're expendable.
Getting interesting.
Yeah, I might not just blindly make tokens. I gotta think for a second. Because I can't even block your pixie, so it might be time to just... 'Cause if you had another temporary, I'm sure you would have played it, right? We're gonna stock the pantry and hope for the best.
It's a lot of power. I forgot to respond to your trigger. I should have done this earlier. Because you will keep a counter, I think.
Yes, I will.
But, so it goes. Got card draw online.
That's right.
Alright, let's get rid of this last Elspeth, hopefully, and not get jousted through.
We're not gonna get jousted through.
Okay. I think that means I want to play my signature card.
I'm gonna draw my green, black, white counterspell. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Well, at least I got the card. No, no, I didn't. That's okay. Should have drawn the other card. That was a mistake. Got anything good in there? Well, the other card I would have drawn would have been a land, so it's fine. It was the underground mortuary.
Let's get a little aggressive. 10 life is not a lot.
It is not. Goodbye, lands.
Okay. This might be lethal. I think it's lethal.
2, 4, 5, 6. Yep,
Got
it
1
is.
point to spare. GG. That Elspeth had me sweating.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's bring in some sideboard cards.
Let's see if I got anything in
This
the
deck doesn't
sideboard.
answer Planeswalkers well.
What do we answer? Mm-hmm. Might need some bigger spells. This was not the right game to test Erd Heirloom.
It's true. It's kind of rough also that your deck doesn't have any creatures that just come in with 4 power.
Yeah, yeah.
What enter the battlefield effects did you have? Some.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a little bit of what you like to do and bring in some cards I just want to show off.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're finally adopting my ways. I think this might actually be helpful. And I think I left it in as a 1 of in my sideboard on accident. And I'm glad I did. This is the card I'm referencing for anyone watching.
Must be very ruined. Must be.
No. I would have left that in on purpose. Is that enough? Let's add a little more help. Did I put one of those in? How many of these did I put in? I'll put in another one of those.
This is going to be interesting post sideboard.
Yeah.
I think I definitely have the advantage pre-board.
For sure. I think I have 5 cards in my deck that are... Well, no. There's a bunch of 3 costs. Temporary Lockdown is 2 cost, right?
3.
3? Okay, yeah. So there's about... I think there's 10 cards in my deck that don't cost... That cost more than 3. 5 to 10.
So we've had really good draws so far, but I don't like this open air, and I have to decide whether to mulligan or not.
I'm going to keep mine this time.
I'm also going to keep on the draw. I think we'll draw out of it.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear, Ben. I think we'll draw out of it, he says. Well, that'll help. That should help you draw out of it.
Well, that's a card we wanted, but not the card we wanted. Notice my missed land drop, even though I may have clay-fired bricks in hand.
Did you keep a 1-lander?
It's a surveil land on the draw.
Oh, Ben.
My curve is so low.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you fell for the trap.
We'll see.
Well,
given that this choice is not being made quickly, it must not be a Bailoff in hand. Or Wilt's Leaf Liege. The Bleachbone Verge.
I shouldn't
Some
have,
stockings.
shouldn't have ditched it, probably.
We drew a land. Everything's fine.
Alright, we're fine. Going a little slower. I know anything I put out there is liable to disappearing quickly.
Well, anything you keep in hand might disappear too.
It's true. Alright. What do you have for this?
Well, I'll show you my Kieran.
Okay.
Picking up my bricks.
I don't know that
I'm
bricks
gonna-
are going to remove. Okay.
They're not, but it gives me a plains.
Okay.
And with the plains, I hit my land drop and break thy momentum.
Okay. You got there.
One land, one keep. Keep this party rolling.
What do you have to remove this sideboard card?
We do have options, but can't come in line this round, unfortunately. I'm just going to break your momentum.
Okay.
Hopefully I have to choose between a nice creature and a nice land.
I have to choose between...
I think you've been missing land drops, though. So... Okay, my fortress is restless. My Kieran is sunny. My speed is increasing. Okay, no lands. That's good for us.
Would really like a land. Especially since
Okay,
I put
I think-
a landfall thing.
I think this works as stopping Felidar Retreat.
Well, you're not going to find out this turn.
It also stops backup.
Yeah, yeah. But backup did exactly what her job was, which was blocking Elishnorn.
Double triggers on my bricks. From one land to very many. Ooh, double surveil.
So what you're saying is I should keep my next one land hand if it's a surveil land?
Surveil land on the draw, and you have clay-fired bricks to find more lands, maybe.
Oh, she shuts off surveil lands. Interesting.
And it looks like retreat also got shut off.
4, 5, 6. Okay.
Folks, Elishnorn is both very good in our deck and also our answer to domain.
And also your answer to the rule of 2, which is running completely rampant on the ladder right now, as you know. People running all sorts of rule of 2 decks.
Oh, double triggers on this too?
You just gonna ignore that, Ben? Not gonna interact with that joke at all?
The rule of 2 decks. Oh, yes. Sorry. What? Double triggers on this too? I think you're dead. I was trying to think through if I had lethal. Ooh. That was a clutch Norn. She was in our starting hand, but we just didn't have the lands to get there.
Yeah, I
So we
could
did.
have. I kept a lot of high mana curve cards, hoping to get the lands to play them because you'd remove anything small, and it didn't work out.
No, you're right. I did have a temporary lockdown in hand too.
Yeah.
That is the benefit of keeping a 1-land hand, is you tend to have a lot of good non-land cards.
Yeah. Well, I won't tell you what else I boarded in because we're going again. You saw one of them, which was
Yes.
an expensive enchantment that would ideally be hard for you to remove. That would give me another way to make stuff.
It could be hard to remove. We found one of our answers, so that was fortunate. This is keepable.
I'll keep it.
My courtyard so concealed. It's almost like it's not there. Look, I missed my land drop. I don't have any courtyards in play.
My recruit, so Paw Patch. Did I misread that verge and think it would come in white and turn green later? Yes. Maybe. I don't know. What I meant to say was, my Bond Warden, so enduring.
I'm just gonna... So your recruit likes being targeted, so I'm just gonna target it before it has any friends.
That's fair, yeah.
Going to play my pixie friend.
Your pixie so nurturing?
Yeah. So, sorry to any folks who play Standard like us, who may have been traumatized by Esper Pixie in the past few months. Sparta says, Bricks is a good addition. Haven't seen too many people on that card. What are your thoughts on Scroll Shift? I really like Scroll Shift. I think we're building for it pretty well. We've got some Overlords, main board and sideboard. It's really good with those. Overlord, Veilmerk, and Miss Morris.
Yeah.
Welcome to stream also, Spartor.
He likes it so much, it's 4 copies in your deck.
Yeah, my main plan is scroll shifting lockdown, of course, which is where it's at its best. But basically, all our cards are scroll shiftable. All right, we're not going to get full Beza value, but we're going to get Beza draw card. So I think that's reason enough to play it out. How do you deal with 4/5s?
Are you talking to me?
Go bigger, probably. Yeah. How do you deal with 4/5s?
I chump block them.
Okay.
Chump block them.
My back street is so shadowy.
Is your back street
do
back?
We keep that. We keep it, I guess.
All right.
Bricks has been all right. It's definitely not a Spartor. It's not a champ card, but it's surprisingly good in a lot of matchups. It plays well in long games where you just need to keep hitting land drops, and also it's reasonable against aggro decks because of the life gain, and you can make sure you're hitting your lands, getting to resolve your bigger spells that pull you ahead. So I'm pleasantly surprised by it. I don't like doing this because it's going to get you 2 counters. But I got to use my mana and manage your board. Ultimately, I'm taking 3 power off the board and, well, I guess giving you 3 back. All right. Here comes 4/5.
Jump.
Explorer's Cache. Whenever creature control with a +1/+1 counter dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this artifact.
Yes,
okay,
they don't
so
all
it
get
covers...
moved, no.
Okay. That's acceptable.
But it does increase the wealth because it's a free counter.
Put its counters on target. Oh, I should respond. Because you're getting a lot of counters.
Yeah.
The ancestral power grows.
It does. We just need to have some
Power on board?
no, we need to have some descendants to pass the power on to.
Well, it's going to be a 2/3 Bond Warden at minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it mattered. I'm still gonna have to jump the 4/5. While I wait for my 5th land.
You get a counter back.
There's my 5th land.
Storm Slayer. All right, which storm are you slaying today?
Probably the big one. Do you have another
Surprise!
Kiwi?
Scroll Shift.
Okay, that's fair.
So I draw a card from Scroll Shift. I don't draw a card from Beza, unfortunately, because Scroll Shift already resolved by that point. I didn't actually get anything out of it other than keeping my 4/5.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, I think you're totally tapped out. Do we have lethal?
You have 9 that I can see. No, you don't. You have
My
lethal.
concealed courtyard was hiding
That's-
my restless fortress. All right, corner turned.
That's because I can't see creature lands, because lands are made to either get blown up for value, watch our last episode, or give me mana. Alright.
So how did I think about our sideboarding last time? I think it was overall pretty good.
Mine didn't seem to help all that much. But that's because I didn't draw any of it, partly.
I think this is good. So we're going half on these because both the things the card does aren't of too much concern in this matchup. We still want some because it's part of our mana base. Trying to talk about this in terms that doesn't immediately tell our opponent what we're doing. Likewise, these... Honestly, I should probably go 2 here and 4 here, because a lot of the stuff that this hits also going to be hit by this, and this is our main game plan. We also have this brought in as extra removal. And this is just a card I want to show off, especially in conjunction with Scroll Shift, as Spartor asked. All right, my friend.
All right. Sideboarding's difficult because in order to put in the right sort of removal, I don't run much at all anyway. I have to like start considering which engine pieces to go down on to replace with removal.
I had to do a little bit of that too. I cut
fun.
a couple of engine pieces.
Do we keep no land hands?
This is probably quite good.
Do we keep no land hands? Probably not. All right.
Exactly, Sparta. This deck grinds. It doesn't have the late game potential of Esper Pixie just recurring this town ain't big enough over and over, but it grinds almost as well, while being better in against aggressive matchups. So I think it's fair. Oh, we get to show off some cool combos this turn, I hope. Well, next turn. We'll see what our... Oh, do I have to answer that?
No.
I probably have
He's
to
not
answer
even.
that.
He's not even knocking at the door. You know. Okay.
Yeah. Ultimately, we're not the beatdown. We're the control deck in this matchup. So
All right.
just once you get counted on that thing, they're never going away.
Let's stock. We get at least one canned good in the pantry.
Okay, I'm less worried about enduring Bond Warden. Let's get murky. Our best hit off it is Pixie. Oh, there. Neat. Gonna just innocently return this Momentum Breaker to hand. I'm losing so much tempo returning my permanents to hand. What am I gonna do?
Okay.
Cash. It's got cash in the name. We're a money-themed deck. Well, in this case, it's Ancestral Power-themed deck.
Yeah, exactly.
The original inherited power from episode 2. Episode 2. So long ago.
So long ago. So many months ago.
All right, what's in your hand? I don't know. Probably Elspeth.
Let's go ahead.
This is going to be our next play, folks.
Cash in one of the cans. Sure. Why not?
Onward and grows. Those counters will theoretically stick. Okay, so you don't have Elspeth this round. I didn't see any combat tricks main board. You could have in the sideboard, but I don't think you would in this matchup. So I'm going to try our cool little play of scroll shifting my Overlord. Draw a card.
So you get to choose whether it comes in as a creature or an enchantment?
No, it...
Oh, because you could only impend it as an enchantment. I see.
Yes. Yeah. It always comes in as a creature unless the impending cost was paid.
I see.
All right, full hand. We'll see if this block goes well.
Yeah.
Our opponent has something to do at instant speed. I guess that's stocking the pantry.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good stuff. So what cards are we worried about? Joust through. Don't like that you have stock in the pantry available, but we can make this a lot more difficult on you. Rather have Hopeless Nightmare, of course, but Winter Breaker does the job for now.
Was it the card I drew? Was it the card I holding? Who knew? Who knows?
You definitely don't have double Joust through, so our Overlord is safe. Lorn of the Third Path is a good pickup. I do like running some one-off creatures with Overlord of the Veilmerk. It helps find them and get them back repeatedly. I'm happy with that deck building. Okay, Pantry's been unstocked.
Interesting. Well, I guess this is the only real thing we can do here.
That's a real thing, though.
Do I start accumulating tokens? If I kill something, she's dead.
Yes.
Let's start getting some chump blockers, I guess.
Okay. I don't... Hang on, how much mana do we have? Okay, we have 9 attacking power. We don't have lethal. Play Momentum Breaker. Okay. Worried about any of these enchantments? I don't think so. I know, strange that I spent so much work taking down Elspeth last time she was out, and now I'm just going face. What could it mean?
Well, I mean, you're in a solid position. Let's get rid of these.
No, I don't like that. You know I have a... You see I haven't carried in hand, man.
Oh, I can see your hand?
Well, no, I picked it up from Overlord. They should have been revealed.
It was.
Now you have
I just don't
Pixie and Loran.
There, yeah. Well, I killed one of them, so that's good, right?
Well, it got replaced with a Kieran.
Oh. Well. Let's see if we can get some cards. And see if we can get some more chump blockers. Draw a card.
Nice.
Oh, I should
So
have.
I don't see any mana up for Joust Through, which I think means it's lethal. Because I have 2 more Kirans. All right. 2 power flyers can get the job done. Sorry to cheese you out like that, but we play to win here. Build Jank, play to win. All right. I think we got a good idea of how that matchup works out, to be honest. How about I switch decks?
If you want. I mean, I'd be willing to go for it again. Also, I'm a glutton. For
Okay. Well, what do you think? What do you think? If you want to keep playing that, that's fine. But...
No, I don't think there's a universe where ancestral power could really get a handle on what you're running today. It's a bad matchup.
All right. Well, let's see. Some past decks we have to play against is Bring the Bugs to the Yard in Golgari.
Okay. I probably
Could be
do good
okay.
about that one, yeah.
Fecund Butts.
We saw that one recently,
the Plains. I might have been a bonus game about 2 episodes ago. Inn of the Plains was our main deck, maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. Doppeljank was
I don't want to play Dank Elves.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Paleontology is a little too one-dimensional. I don't think it's good bonus game material.
What about Rube Goldberg? Greenberg.
Rube Green. Oh, sure, if you'd like to. Sparta asks, what is Goddess? Goddess is our once per set standard brawl special. At the end of each set, we're going to do a standard brawl game instead of plain standard. And I picked Sabsunin, and my opponent picked
Hazoret.
Also a Aether Drift God.
Hazoret.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's see if we can change this over to... Where's Rube Greenberg? Am I not seeing it?
Want me to send the challenge?
I'm sending the challenges.
Okay.
There it is.
I have the button in front of me now. Okay, there it is. You got there.
So yeah, we built Sabsunin based on +1/+1 counters, of course, and card draw because Simic was a good time. A good matchup versus red aggro with heavy burn. So it wasn't decidedly a one-sided matchup. I liked how those games went. I think it was about 2 or 3 episodes ago. If you want to check that out after this stream/video. All right, you got your 1-drop to start. I've got mine.
All right.
Folks, for this bonus game, the game plan of Rube Greenberg is play big stompy green creatures and try to combo off with cards like Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, and other mana and card generators. Sparta asks, oh, I can't say that because that's a work in progress.
Oh no, I can't know about that.
No, it's not a combo deck. It's unfortunately a boring ramp big spells deck. But I'll probably be running that in an episode or 3 episodes. So it's work in progress. I'm hoping to get some more Dragonstorm cards. Okay, I was really hoping to draw land there, but we've still got a decent turn.
I feel that.
Actually, this works because we can Gwenna, untap Gwenna. We've got our big Defiler. We can. Oh, I must have clicked plot. We can play our Outcaster Trailblazer, paying its green cost with Phyrexian mana. Puts down Trailblazer, draws us, gives mana, and now we're on the board.
Okay.
Sparta says, that's my kind of deck, play Simic Ramp. Yes, indeed, I love Simic Ramp. Closest thing I've played on Jank-Off is a Bant Doppelgang deck.
See if we can get a land here.
I think in episode 2 or 3. Good stuff.
Let's...
Dragonback Assault is the card I'm really hoping for the Teamer deck. All right, your Sylvans are scavenging. Your Bond Warden's growing. We still didn't draw land, but at this point, I think we're okay, to be honest. Now we combo off. Okay. Let's do... I think this works. think Gwen is still untapped, even when impending an Overlord. We had a pretty good draw, to be fair. We're doing a lot of damage to ourselves, though.
Can't figure out if it's lethal yet. But math, as they say, math is for attackers.
We'll draw land eventually. Still no land. Is this lethal? Nope. Nope, not quite.
See? Told you. Math is for attackers. 5, 19.
No, I'm just being silly. I like this monkey.
Wait, that is lethal. Hold on. There's like 20 in between two creatures. I'm not that bad at mouth.
You're a blocker. You have a blocker.
Oh, okay.
Alright, let's just get some land. I'll attack in, you'll jump block.
Yeah. Okay, you're right, you're right, you're right.
And I don't think you have any main board wipes.
Yes. But look out.
Oh, your role model. So reluctant.
And my recruit.
Alright, I should just attack in, right? I could play out my hand with
Yeah.
all this mana, but...
You can show the people what the deck... That's too late now. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. This is still going to be 30 or 40 damage. Okay, make it 50.
That's not a lot. We've seen more. We're spoiled.
Yeah. Alright, Rube Greenberg.
Okay.
Let's go to sideboarding.
I'll do that and that. Let's do one of those.
This deck is old. There's definitely some choices I would have made differently in the current meta.
But what do we take out is always the question. I guess we just reduce some of the... Wow, this is rough. Rough choices. Take those out.
Yeah, right, here's the deck, folks. Lots of 4-ofs. And yes, we can cast Golta pretty regularly.
Alright, let's see what that does.
Alright, we're just green friends, right?
Yeah.
I'm mono green. You've got some... You're messing around with some other scary colors, but, you know... Green buds. A lot of cards are green.
Oh! I didn't keep... I should have kept a one-lander, because I mulliganed into a no-lander. Alright, we'll keep that one.
I wonder if the audience in this background does actually correlate with the decks, because this looks significantly greener than it did during our previous matchups.
What do you mean? Oh! Okay, yeah, maybe. I wasn't...
Aren't there a lot of green people here?
I see a lot of green people rooting for green, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite decks to play. You can't bust it out too often or for too long, but it's nice to just go big and green.
I don't want to return any of these.
It also sucks in the current meta, so don't craft it.
Well, that's only if you care about winning. Some people, myself included, don't care much about that.
If I talk about its quality in relation to the meta, I am indeed talking about...
I guess that's true. That's fair. That's a fair point.
Alright, you've played your 2-mana card draw enchantment. But I've got one better. In my opinion.
I see. You still go with the old... One less synergistic... I mean, that's just not... I think I have... Like I said... A very, very limited... Elspeth. I think Elspeth is my value 5 or greater card in this deck. And there's 3 of them. Is that my problem? No.
3 Elspeths does seem like a lot. It was a really good card in our last matchup, but...
Yeah.
It is a lot. Okay, so what are we playing here?
No, I meant it was my problem that I wasn't running beans.
Oh, I see. No, your problem was not that you're not running beans. You need to build around beans. I don't like that.
So long as we fight, hope cannot die. One fewer
All right, my gigantic monkey is gone, but my card draw is intact.
I mean, she only hits creatures, so.
Well, Trailblazer
Hmm?
is card draw. Outcast or Trailblazer card draw. Watch.
Whenever another creature you control power 4 or greater. Oh, okay.
See?
I mostly didn't want you blowing up my enchantments, though.
Yeah, I know. I really would have liked to, but
Yeah.
you know, I think we have enough card draw, to be honest. I'd like to deprive you of your card draw. Or your Elspeth.
Elspeth.
Wonder what you have in hand. Yep.
Yeah, here's the
We
thing.
got the read, folks.
No, you didn't. I just drew that.
Oh no.
Well,
Fair enough.
what do I do with it, though? I might not. What does this do? You transform it.
We're
create
not
it.
really planning on transforming it, to be honest.
And then you've got the card draw.
It's just there to block your exemplar.
I think I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
That's pretty good. Okay, can we kill Elspeth? Looks like it.
Yeah.
I definitely want to play this card before my Trailblazer dies. And also this card before too many of my creatures die. Okay, full hand. This will kill Elspeth. Question is, what do you want to keep your exemplar? Okay, yeah. No real point in blocking there. Well, you could have blocked the elves, I guess.
That's fair, yeah.
Beza's pretty good here. You get lots of value. Oh, that's a good draw. Okay, you have no artifacts or enchantments, so I guess we just thin out our deck. Let's draw gas. I don't like how you said, Do you have board wipe sideboard?
Yeah, but I haven't drawn them.
You shouldn't have told me that.
Oh.
I mean, we'll just go big. It's fine. This is a Jank-Off. We're here to have fun.
That's right.
Guess we are going to discard to hand size. All right, so you have 10 power blockers. I'm fine with trading this with anything, and honestly this at this point. And Galt is safe, so...
Fish.
Possible I should have just attacked with Elder, but...
Get fished.
Go fish.
The greatest combo known to man. Play life gain land. Draw a card.
It is a tap land. I guess you're not hurting for mana at this point, though. Another one!
What do I do with it? Like,
This is your third Elspeth?
Yeah.
You have, like, no card draw, and you're still drawing heaters. That's fine.
It's too late,
I'm
though.
not
It's-
actually salting. I'm just being performative.
It's not actually gonna do anything for me, though. I mean,
No, it's not.
It'll blow up your... I hate to blow up a good old-fashioned big stompy, but...
I've got another one in hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think this is just lethal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we could, again, play out our whole hand, but... I don't think there's anything at 2 mana that saves you. All right. Bonus game 1 down. I think we're roaring through these. What else do you want to play against?
I don't know. What do you think would let me showcase the deck that I'm playing?
Yeah. So we want a slow deck, but not too controlling. The problem is,
That's the only kind of deck you like.
if a deck is, well, I mean,
Yeah.
none of my decks are fast, just faster than yours.
Yeah.
End of the Plains and is not too controlling and not too fast. It just has a random combo finish. Mono black discard is kind of a lot like Orzhov in its play patterns.
Yeah.
It doesn't have temporary lockdown as a big. Actually, it doesn't have temporary lockdown as a big hoser, so it could be fair. I think Inn of the Plains or Witch Guard discard would be the
Just do
fairest.
Enter the Plains then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have been in the challenge window. Sorry. Sending challenge. Okay, and this time we're going to be a lot less green. Let's see if the inhabitants of the stadium will be in are also greener than usual. I'm playing mono black, so it's got to, if there's any correspondence between the color of the people in the stands and the color of the decks, I'm expecting darker colors.
It's all of the colors. So you're playing End of the Plains?
No,
you
it's
said?
look at it repopulating. There's a lot of purple.
Oh, that is true.
Oh no, I picked Witch Guard discard.
Oh.
I meant to do what you said. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I think it's actually a better matchup for you, to be honest. But I meant to pick the one you said.
I can't remember.
Slow start.
I can't remember.
Not great answers.
Which card is this
card?
If it has any creatures. Can't remember. I don't think so. Most of your decks don't.
Well, that's 50-50. Half of my decks are basically all creatures, and half of them are basically no creatures. Okay, well, you're getting value out of your Revenant already, potentially.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you want Siege out first. You get the immediate draw, I think.
Sure.
I probably don't need to do this at sorcery speed, but I'm going to lose 2 life. Help you out.
Okay. I'm going to pop off.
Okay, I don't like seeing that second Bond Warden.
What do I do with this one? That.
This was going to be our plan, folks.
Let's start flying. Could have had a raccoon there.
Don't we all want raccoons there?
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually. Yeah, we kind of have to do this. I think I'm still in a losing position, but
discard 2 cards. Okay. 2 creatures?
that's why. If you didn't play that second Bond Warden, I was
Yeah.
going to be pretty happy, but.
Now, notably, here's one cool thing that Ancestral Power does. It actually multiplies the tokens because these are all firing off this deck.
The counters, yeah.
Yeah, the counters. Thank you.
Bond Warden has the effect of putting its counters on it, and Realm Model has the effect of putting Bond Warden's counters on it. That's what counts. Yeah, we're probably pretty dead.
I knew this deck did stuff.
I drew a land. This is my last non-land card in hand.
Okay.
Technically, I am not dead, but basically I am. Pretty sure this is a lethal threat. Hang on. I should double check. So if I'm at 9 effective life after blocking and getting lifelink. So if I block there, I take 6. If I block here, I take more than 9. So yep, it has to be a chump. However, I don't think there's really anything I can top deck because role model will pass on all its counters. Yep. I just drew a creature land. Would you like to swing in?
Yes, please. That would
Okay.
that would please me greatly.
All right, I'll put an Aquazotz on the board and level up my talent.
Okay.
So you'll lose 2 life off that 36.
In we go.
Not to worry, chat. We have sideboard answers.
Okay.
You do run a lot of enchantments, which is not the easiest for mono black to deal with.
What did we see? Nightmare, prank.
Here's the deck we're working with.
Do a couple of these. Do one of those. A couple of these. Do a couple of these. I'm gonna go down on these. Go down on these.
Okay, I think that's good.
Right.
So as you can see, folks, our plan is to get them empty-handed and then slowly win the game with cards like Bandit's Talent or Shieldred when they can't remove her because they have no cards. So, nice black control deck. It's not, again, not very standard competitive. More than mono green, honestly, but it is not a monocolor meta. Unless you're mono red. Mono white's okay too.
Oh, I haven't gotten to play this yet.
Your nightmare is hopeless.
Well, I'm not going to get to play this yet.
Which card? Discard. I ask you again. Which card? You could choose two cards, just saying.
Really? Oh.
Discard 2, unless you discard non-land. Okay, this hand is shaping up to be pretty hilarious. Not sure if it's good, but it's hilarious.
Ooh,
I
those
ask
are the
again.
best kind. Which card?
Which card?
This card.
Alright, and which card?
Oop.
Okay, and then now you kill me with role model.
Okay.
Assuming I never draw any of my removal.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're gonna make me discard it anyway if I keep it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my best.
What does this do? Expires 1 or fewer cards in hand. Okay.
Haha! My clock has activated.
I'm just gonna play it. I'll probably need it later. Let's get a couple of lifelink counters to help offset the bandit's talents.
Alright. Alright, chat. Let's scry for Rankle's Prank. This card is pretty good. Definitely not that. I think a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Let's level up our game.
What does the pantry have for us today? Okay. How much am I losing per turn? 4?
Well, if you keep cards in hand, less.
Well, thank you for fixing my mana for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that you didn't have black. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I just wanted to be mana efficient.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Get them bigger. Stock that pantry. Get our siege going.
I don't like that.
Because we have it now, finally.
Yeah. My mistake. I think we have enough good draws that I'm willing to do this on upkeep. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, what's the timing on this? Draw a card. Okay. This is game 1, right? Yeah, it's game 1.
No, game 2. I won the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to... Well, nothing for now. I'm going to play around something like Snakeskin Veil, which would be decent in your deck, so let's just get that done.
Oh, I should have thought of that. The problem is, when you're playing around with counters, it's such a prevalent mechanic. There are just so many options.
There are so many bad counters cards.
Yeah.
I don't...
Like I
It's
said,
not even that the cards
options.
themselves are bad. It's partially just that the meta is pretty hostile to it. Oh, that's an interesting card. All right, let me see here. Sorry, my camera's obscuring.
What about the jank
Okay.
meta, though? I feel like +1/+1 counters could work in the jank meta against the right matchups.
You know what? You've only got one card in hand. I don't see a way of... Actually, no. No, we need to be more mindful.
What?
Play it safe, Ben. Play it safe.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Off you go.
I am glad you played it safe.
Pretty good card. Oh, we drew a pretty good card. Yeah, we literally top decked this. Sorry.
Oh, this is Planeswalkers is an option with that. Okay.
That's the only reason why I run it, is that
Okay.
it's creatures or planeswalkers.
Well, now that we've got the 2 sieges, we can go ahead and get that cycle going.
Huh, the Abzan deck finally picks the Abzan side of the siege.
I guess
Probably
I
could have
didn't-
sent one in my face.
Yeah, I didn't only need to send one. Yeah, I forgot that I had what I had done.
You knew not what you have
So
done.
notably, when you
That's
have
fine.
both Abzan and Sultai, you can attack,
don't like
and
that.
you draw a card for attacking, basically, which is nice.
Well, this is not a bad top deck, but it's really not a good top deck.
Okay.
I think you have a card draw engine, and I'm drawing on empty, so... I would be surprised if I won this game.
Yeah, let's do this now.
Your supplies. Your cards flow.
They do.
You've got two cards in the pantry. You've got one in the siege. 3 cards in the pantry. Down to 7. All right, folks, we need Rankle's Prank again.
I should have played that before I attacked. I forgot the lifelink would trigger it, but that's fine. I think I'm already ahead.
Yeah, you have lethal. I I present my Grim Bauble.
Your bobble.
And actually, you don't have lethal. Well, no, you do have lethal. You have lethal. You have lethal.
Yes.
Would you like to attack it?
Yes.
All right.
Let me raid the pantry real quick.
Oh, it's always snack time around here.
Ooh.
Okay. As it stands, you have 7 power. Okay. You'll have 8 power. You'll have 9 power once.
Listen, I'm playing with my deck, okay? I'll be honest. I'm just playing with my deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the power to gain a life.
Okay.
I'll play with my deck, and I also can surveil. Oh, yeah. Look at that. 2 answers on top of my deck. GG. 'Twas too late.
We did it. So the original
All right.
inherited power focused really heavily on life gain as the source of the counters, and this deck does not do that so much. It sort of relies on enchantments more heavily than the other version. And then notably adding black lets you bring creature removal as well. But
right.
the siege is it's the siege and Elspeth are really. I guess the Revenant's cool too, but yeah.
Yeah, Siege is pretty sick in your deck. Should we talk kind of wrap up and matchups?
Yeah.
Tell me more about what kind of matchups your deck wants to see and what it struggles against.
Well, mono black discard seems to be pretty good. Good for a matchup. From what I just saw.
You have too many value enchantments that it can't remove.
So I did pretty well testing this deck. I won quite a bit. Did well even on in the ladder for me as well. Mostly because most people are either playing still in my matchmaking still aren't really running enchantment removal for some reason. And also they're either running tiny aggro creatures or waiting to play big ones. They're not playing Rube Goldberg type decks where the big creatures come down on turn 3. So I think I may have suffered a bit from success when testing this deck in that nothing that I really faced on the ladder beyond people who were packing enchantment removal could really do anything about my card draw engine. And then as soon as I played Elspeth on turn 5, assuming I didn't miss a land drop and I drew it, I would win.
Well, that sounds like it's not an uncommon Elspeth experience, to be fair.
Yeah. But
so great that she has 3 modes. One of them is stabilize the board. One of them is build your own board, and the final is win the game.
Yeah.
And you just pick whichever one fits your current use case best.
So
really
the deck, once the deck, as you got to see, I got to build the card draw engine there in the last game, and I appreciate you letting me do that so that the viewers could see what it does. And once you get that online, if they can't remove it, you can outvalue many decks, especially since you're rewarded for being aggressive at that point. Because one of your creatures, you only have to attack with one, it'll get menace, and then it'll get a counter, and then you'll draw a card. Until you get to Elspeth, and then you just overwhelm them.
So you want to see control decks without enchantment removal, basically.
Right. And I think I also benefited in testing of facing almost no control decks, except for maybe Azorius, which it's fine. You wait for them to be tapped out before you play your enchantments, because they're too busy being scared of the other stuff you're playing. Yeah, I didn't know it was so weak to. I guess I should have known it was weak to bounce because it's heavily counter based. I I think I run into temporary lockdown occasionally, but I also sideboard a lot of enchantment removal in this deck, and usually destroying the temporary lockdown is just fine for me, and I just get everything back. But it kind of sucked against you because you wanted everything back also.
Yeah, I had a lot to get back to.
So
That's why I really find interesting the lock them down, pick them up kind of paradigm.
I think my biggest disappointment was I was hoping there would be a bit more interesting options beyond +1/+1 counters. And the Revenant is cool, but at the end of the day, it's doing the same thing that the Survivor is doing, but also maybe Death Touch.
Yeah, it's nice that it comes on a good body to start with and has similar resilience. It's a different kind of resilience, but it's also kind of a recursive threat.
I think maybe I could have leaned on the Endure mechanic a little bit more. But most of the Endure cards are just kind of draft cards.
That's in my sense also.
Yeah.
All right.
How about your deck? It's really good against +1/+1 counter value decks. What else?
It has a pretty good matchup against aggro. There's some
I just punched my
amount
mic. I'm
of
sorry,
you have
everybody.
to draw. You're fine. It wasn't that loud.
Okay.
There's some amount of you have to draw the right cards, but temporary lockdown hoses most aggro decks currently. And cards like Nowhere to Run and Momentum Breaker usually do enough in the early game to stabilize into the late game, at which point they become excellent value pieces for grinding your opponent right out of the game. So I'd say aggro is one of our favorite matchups. They definitely can have really fast starts, especially the glass cannon ones with lots of pump spells and cards like Heart for Hero or Cacophony Scamp. If you can't get ahead of those, we don't have a lot of instant speed interaction. A lot of it is sorcery speed like Lockdown and Momentum Breaker. They can occasionally one-shot you down to a low life battle or lethal, and then they just have to top deck a haste creature to finish the job once you deal with their last threat. So we do pretty well against mid-range also. Mid-range with a lot of enchantment removal can be a little rough, but we kind of, again, still want them to remove our lockdown, and we have some tricks to grind mid-range out also. The worst, definitely by far the worst matchup is still a meta power. It's Domain. And any similar ramp into bombs with a controlling angle kind of deck. We don't have enough of a clock to stop them from getting their bombs, and they have enough control power to keep us from too many synergies and grinding them out with a ton of Hopeless Nightmare recursion. That's once Up the Beanstalk is involved, Hopeless Nightmare, it feels like the Hopeless Nightmare is the one playing the card, which is us. You can't outvalue the beans. Even with this lockdown Hopeless Nightmare package. You can lock down the beans, but every time you bounce your lockdown for value, they're also getting their beans back and drawing a card from entering. So beans, my favorite card in Standard, I think, is this deck's nemesis. Any beans deck is going to do very well against it, which I'm okay with. So, like I said, this is a deck I originally started putting together months ago, really refurbished once Sun Pearl Kirin came into play. But just this last week, while I was testing a different deck for next week, I came across a lot of this Orzhov Bounce. So this is one of my more meta decks. It was by accident. It wasn't really meta when I picked it, but it might find a place now as an alternative to Pixie. It does better against red. It does better against Steel Cutter in particular. So keep an eye out for Orzhov Bounce packages. I'm seeing a little bit more of a mid-rangey angle. A lot of them are running Unholy Annex in the main board. We don't even have it sideboarded. We're using Overlords as our go big plan. And I also see some Shieldred main board, but we don't really draw enough cards consistently to make Shieldred something we want to play. One of our strengths is most of our creatures don't care about getting removed. Pixie and Kirin, they're there for value. They get their value on entering the battlefield. We don't really care if they're killed. So that's a strength of a good mid-range or control deck, is they get your creature's value on entering or sooner. So Never got to show off with Wishclaw Talisman, unfortunately. But I suppose I should mention
what was
that.
that gonna do?
What you do is you play it. You spend a mana. You don't have to play it the turn you activate it. Once it's down, you spend the mana to search for a card. If you have a lockdown, you get a piece to bounce your lockdown. And if you don't have a lockdown, you grab a lockdown. The opponent gets the Wishclaw Talisman. This is still during your turn. Then you immediately play temporary lockdown. You sweep up your own enchantments for value. You sweep up your opponent's stuff. And you also grab that Wishclaw Talisman that's under your opponent's control, and it resets. So that when you bounce the lockdown, the Wishclaw comes back under control, and you can tutor up another bounce piece or a removal piece or another lockdown, whatever you need. In that way, Wishclaw is kind of designed to give you a wish, then your opponent a wish, then you a wish again. And temporary lockdown allows us to only take wishes for ourselves over and over again with this one claw. So that is how we cheat the monkey's paw. I have not seen this aside from months ago in a single CGB video, so I'm excited to be trying it out myself. I wish I could claim credit for the synergy. Just a neat thing that I wanted to try from Foundations. It's in Standard, doesn't see any play. Cool card. All right. Looks like we're at 8:37.
Yes.
Do we want a bonus game, or are you just exhausted from keyforging all weekend?
I wouldn't mind a bonus game.
All right. What do you want to play? You've only played Ancestral Power today, so it's your turn to pick a bonus deck.
What? When was the last time I played Rule of 2B?
B, long time.
Yeah.
O was just
I
last
did
week.
O last week. Let me do B. Just bring
All right.
Rule
Any
2B.
audience requests for my deck? Speak up quickly, because I'm probably playing Into the Plains. Yeah, let's do Into the Plains.
Okay. I can't remember if I've added any cards since you last played it. It's possible.
I think Into the Plains should be a fair matchup.
There's the new impact trimmers on a body from Tarkir that might go in this deck, but I haven't tested it.
Oh, Sharpshooter. Is Sharpshooter once per turn?
I don't think so. Maybe. I'll have to double check.
If it's not, that's pretty good.
It should
I've
be,
written
right?
it off.
Because if they didn't, it'd be broken, right? And Magic Wizards doesn't print broken cards.
Oh yeah, never broken cards. Beanstalk is fair.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Pretty sure Thanos works there.
Oh, this is pretty keepable.
This is pretty much everything we want to see in a single hand, minus maybe one thing. So we'll keep it.
I should say, I would probably keep this hand in a vacuum, not knowing what I'm playing against. It's possible I should have mulliganed in this matchup, but
You could tell
I'll just
tell your viewers what they're what you're in for, or are you going to tell your viewers what you are in for here?
What do you mean I'm in for? I'm in doing, or I'm in as in I'm gonna suffer?
Yeah. What Rule of 2B does.
No, that's your job. That's your
Okay,
deck.
well, I'll display it by playing cards.
Okay, let's try to draw land. We have the aggro draw today, folks, for Into the Plains.
That is true. I am
still don't draw
concerned
land.
already about the otter. I don't even
A lot of
remember.
nonsense going on here.
I might be dead.
You can handle a single
I don't
mammal.
know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I'm on 2 lands. You prince, so charming.
I'm gonna gain 3 life.
Still not a land, but it's a good card. And it might draw us a land. It's nope, still not a land. Otter's getting swole though. Would you like to take 7? No.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay. I think this is a 26 land deck. We'll get there eventually. Well, let's see what our percentage is. I'm at 50-50 right now per draw.
I'm gonna do something. I don't usually do this with this deck, but
Well, tapped is nice.
I need to make sure that a land is coming. Ah, but it's a tap
Jealous.
land. That's fine. It's better than no land. Okay, let's draw it.
Ouch.
Play it.
That's not a land. We still get to use our mana. I'd like to present another otter.
A Nodder.
And my great talent.
To be fair, my deck
Honestly,
hasn't popped off yet either.
You're just gonna chump block anyway, so why did I shouldn't even put the counter on the attacking otter.
Oh no. Sure. Block?
No.
Okay.
That's not a land.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not lethal though. But you are in trouble.
All right.
To be fair, as far as 2-land draws go, I have been able to play something every turn and use basically, I think, all my mana every turn. Okay, I need a land here. I need a land here. Folks, I think we have lethal if we just draw a land here. An untapped land. I just need any untapped land. Deck, please. Please, little untappies. The deck has listened. I think this is lethal.
Lethal. Ah.
Oh, no, you gained life. Where'd you gain life from?
That's what I chose on my guide. Gain 3 life.
I made the calculation before you chose. It's not lethal. It wouldn't have been lethal anyway, I guess. I'm wrong. Okay, well, still, deal with my mammals.
Okay.
Fear my lands.
How about this?
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, the past hurts.
There it is. It's my life gain engine.
Okay, I should have pulsed the impact tremors in retrospect. But I mistakenly believed I was going to win. That's not a land. Did we just die to the tremors here? Maybe.
This deck does pretty well in the ladder.
I think we still keep attacking.
Oop, I hit my mic again. Maybe I should move it so I stop doing that. Alright, I have to jump.
Oh, I guess it didn't matter, but...
More distraction. Let's make this. Haven't you ever heard?
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. They never
Where did he come
remember.
from? Oh, you did it during your end step. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I did
Yep,
it.
that explains my perplexity.
What do I discard? I have enough lands, it's fine.
That's okay. I wouldn't have changed my play. Liliana's literally the only card I can play without a land, so...
First, before I make a choice. Do you remember the cool thing about this deck, Ben?
Is it Raise the Past, or is it Delny? Or both?
Those are both very cool. So the rule of 2, for those who aren't informed, is that none of your creatures, unless absolutely necessary for engine purposes, should never be above 2 power. Which is why we run this board wipe.
I'm in utter shock. Okay.
As in, that was a bad play. I know.
If this was if this was an untapped land, I could have possibly gotten there, but
Okay.
I think you're just going to assemble lethal before I can do anything about it. I have no place.
Yeah,
to
especially
surround.
since I drew a second one of these.
That's painful.
All right, you're about to take a
that'll
lot.
do it. You won't even have the chance to attack, right?
Nope.
Oh no, you will. It's just exactly. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna attack. I'm just gonna play another one.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. This is pre-board or post-board?
Pre-board.
Oh, good. Okay, good. We have answers. These are good. These are good. These are good.
That's
good.
Do that. Do that. Most people put in graveyard hate at this point. So let's do that. Rely less on that. Sure, that should be fine. Rule of Two
okay,
Boros. Check out last week's episode for Rule of Two Orzhov. Exora, thanks for popping by the stream. You played your first Magic Commander game yesterday. I wish I could give you good advice for what to do with your token deck. Ben, do you have any? I've never actually played Commander.
I've played Commander once. I have 100% win rate. So clearly the best advice come from here.
Did you play any token decks?
I played Mono Green Elves.
I think I'm more likely to play tokens than you are. So if I were building a token strategy, I would probably make sure I had at least a Caretaker's Talent, right? So you can draw cards whenever you make a token. The new...
I don't know if that's even good in Commander, though.
That's a good point.
Once per turn.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, no. I mean, stick around. What colors is your Commander deck? You might see some interesting cards. The cards I run are going to be pretty cheap because I don't run good cards. That's kind of the point.
Keep it.
White, black, red. All right. Wait, a Mardu.
Mardu tokens. Who's your commander?
Yeah, who's the commander? That's probably the best. That's probably the first question I should have asked.
Well, that's one thing I know about Commander. Who's the commander?
Maybe I should just give, like, having never played Commander. I have played Brawl a little bit. Maybe having never played Commander, I should just give advice extremely confidently. Just because nobody's proven me wrong yet. Right?
That's how it works, right?
Let's get this going. I've got off to a pretty good start here, but so are you.
Turns out that lands are good for Magic.
Don't know the name. You know he's an orc. Take a look. Okay.
Zurgo?
Could be Zurgo.
If it's on the new set, it'd be Zurgo.
Could be Krenko. He's also pretty popular for... No, that's a goblin. Mind.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think Mardu Orc you're looking at Zurgo is the new one from Dragonstorm or one of the old ones?
Zurgo? Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We have a lot of mana here now because lands are good.
What? Well, is Zurgo one of
What?
the precons? Do you know?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
let's just clean up here. Yeah.
What does Zurgo do, Ben? Do you want to look it up for me real quick?
Mobilize.
Mobilize,
Although
okay.
the precon, I think the precon commander is different from the one in the main set.
Right.
If it's a precon commander, I know the one in the main set makes it so your mobilized
yeah.
tokens aren't sacrificed.
Okay, so it's the Zurgo precon.
Okay.
Standard
We're standard players here. Oh, and standard brawl. Standard brawl
brawl.
for a singleton format. Oh,
So-
Jolly Balloon Man, what's this?
All right, so for one thing to note about, oh yeah, did you forget he was in here?
I didn't know he was in here.
Yeah, he gives me free ETBs.
Mini
Sure.
balloons pop. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming I leave mana open. So Zergo precon, if it is focused on mobilized, I don't have a web browser handy. Is my problem. Let me pull one up real quick. I'm not currently seeing the game, Ben. So if you're doing stuff, now's the time to cheat.
Oh yeah, cheat on this
That's right.
server-side digital game.
I don't think that's it.
It's funny. You still come across conspiracy theorists who think that it's possible to cheat on Arena.
Is it?
I'm
Zergo Storm Render. That looks right. Mobilize one.
Zergo Stormer's Mardu, not use it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is it. I got it right. Storm. All right, I'm roping. I'm just gonna... I should block. Let's block. Mobilize one whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield. Draw a card if it was attacking. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Okay. Creature token you control leaves the battlefield. So obviously you're going to want to stick as much mobilize. I'm sure they already did that if it's a precon. Another noticing thing interesting is, first of all, one thing I'd suggest is if you're new, you might not know about scryfall.com. Scryfall.com is a searchable database of every Magic card that exists. Make a good choice here.
And EDH Rec is a database of lots of commander decks.
There you go. Now the token can exile the other one, who will come back later.
So from this one Charming Prince, you're getting 3 ETBs?
Yes. Let's do a quick scry. Just make sure I like what I'm going to draw here. I don't like that. No, those aren't going to help me. Sure, he's going to die anyway. The other thing that's notable is that with Mobilize, the tokens die. So if you have any card that says...
sacrifice a creature for some good effect.
Right, exactly, for some good effect. Or that says whenever a creature on the field dies. So for example, there's a Foundations card. What is her name? There's no way you know, Ben, because it's a 6-7 mana creature that gives you some card draw value, so you would never play it. But I would. I see a lot of people, they're... Alright, I'm tired of this, Ben. Let's stop. Just stop. Quit interloping.
What are you going to choose?
2. Quit interloping. Get Balloon Man.
All right, well. This is a silly choice, but I want to draw cards. Let's see, collect evidence 6.
I looked up when I was building my deck today. I was gonna suggest to oh, okay, yeah. Struggling a lot with damage multipliers and counters and keeping track. Yeah. So I don't play Paper Magic, but I do play a couple of other card games in Paper, and I definitely understand that. But the card game I play, Keyforge, is primarily like we use a lot of tokens. Tokens as in like things that you put on your cards to represent things. I think it's a lot more common in the Magic community to use dice, right, for things.
Yeah. basically group up all your effects, similar effects as much as possible. Group up all your creatures as much as possible into the battlefield. Put all the tokens on them.
Right, and if you're
as a
playing a
unit.
token deck, I think something that's really common is people just have like one copy of the token and then they just put a dice on that to represent how many are there. That thing is big.
Yeah, real 0 to hero story. Came in as a 1/1. End of the turn as 12/12 actually with prowess triggers.
0 to hero.
Oh, I know it's in your hand. Okay,
But
I think this is
hopefully-
lethal.
Oh, do you have removal?
I have your bunnies and your princes have nowhere to run. And then I am talented.
Mm-hmm.
And this should be a lot of counters.
I don't know. That was pretty close.
Utter nonsense.
Yeah.
All right, that one.
Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by the stream, X4. I just wish I could be a bit more helpful.
Yep, I'd say EDX Rec is your
EDX
best
Rec.
resource, and also feel free to join a Commander Discord or Arena Discord if you play Arena at all.
What? Oh, we're in a third game. Okay. Well, I already memed you with the Balloon Man, so he doesn't have to stick around.
Is Expel the Interlopers sacrifice or destroy?
Oh yeah, cool. Wait, say that again?
Expel the Interlopers. Is it sacrifice or destroy?
It's destroy.
Okay, good. Asking for a friend.
That doesn't. That doesn't bode well at all. This is fine.
We can't keep a one-lander. This...
So this deck I'm playing right now
Sketchy. Should
focuses on creatures that have 2 power or less, because this card says if the ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, it triggers again. And then notably, if you keep them at 2 power, they also can't be blocked as long as Delny, the Streetwise Lookout, is on the board.
Downley's a real beater if you build around her.
Yeah, he's one of my
Excellent card.
She's one of my favorite cards, I think. You don't really do your second level on talent in this game, do you?
Not in this matchup.
Yeah.
It's for this town recursion or board wipe recursion or removal recursion, but yeah. All right, fear my memory. It's eidetic.
Now that I don't like. Yeah, that. What's more important?
What you gonna do about it? Sounds like you have enchantment removal up in there.
Yeah, but I
Almost
also.
like you're asking whether my enchantment's gonna do anything.
Yeah, let's just do this
Ouch.
before it gets too big.
Okay. Attack for 2. Oop, I almost misplayed. Pretty hard there.
I hope.
This gives me black mana.
X4. I hope that 1, I'm saying your name right, and 2, I hope that the group or whatever group you play with, locally is one that's kind of supportive and helpful. I really need a land. C4. Okay. Oh, that's a C. Oh, I'm blind. Maybe I should go get it now. Yeah, no, I hope your local group, because that's really kind of the most important thing, I would say.
Yeah.
I have Ben to play with. So, you know, I could do better, but he's pretty alright.
Jank is allowed.
Yeah. Man, alright. I really need,
Man.
I could really use some lands.
I could really use my Glissa sticking against all these enchantments you have.
Yeah, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? Oh man, if only I hadn't sideboarded in Lightning Helix.
Why did you do that? It's really pretty bad against my deck, honestly.
Because I
It
got
hits Glissa and Otter tokens, and that's it?
well because
I guess Planeswalkers.
no. So the reason I did is, my options for creature removal are wipe them out, or that.
No Get Lost? I mean, Get Lost it's a sketchy card sometimes.
I don't
but-
know if I owned any of that card when I first built this deck. I have one now.
Oh, that's fair. It's a rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always think of interaction as being uncommon or common, usually. But oh, that's a good card.
Enduring Innocence? Yeah, I like it. It's cute
Yeah,
too.
no, I was referring to this
Oh.
one, but you're not wrong.
Look at it. It's adorable. Okay. Your otter's
All right,
big.
Otter beatdown commencing.
Big otter. I didn't see the otter meta.
Where have you been playing? Storm Changer's talent is you see it a lot in the Pixie decks, of course, but also in is it Steel Cutter now?
Yeah, but they don't usually beat you down with the otters.
It was in the old. I hate saying it's an old deck now, but the old
good.
Solarian Terror Eddie McCrab list.
Good. Sounds like you got a good crew then. Let's see more. I'm curious. It doesn't. No, because Ben, help.
What you doing with that one mana?
For reasons I would like to ask, if you activate an ability, that doesn't count as the ability being triggered, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
Activated abilities are different from triggered
Well, I'm
abilities.
still gonna do it, but I'm only gonna get one enchantment out of it.
I see.
And I will choose return target instant or sorcery. Oh, I don't like either of these enchantments. I want to remove them both.
Do I have any instance? Oh, I guess I do have an
You
instance
have
for
one.
sorcery.
That's probably the wrong choice, especially now that I made you look at your discard and realize that you still have a Terra Sender in there.
No, that was the right choice. I still have lethal, but I have to work for it a little more.
Okay.
Oh, that was definitely the right choice with the card I drew. All right, I guess we're not going to see the Planeswalker combo this game. But
No.
that was just Otter beatdown. All right.
I think everybody
the
needs to
planes.
get put in their place by a couple of chonky otters once in a while. It's pretty.
I mean, I'm sure some people are into that.
The chonky otter
right.
sounds like a really hip bar.
The chunky, I guess. All right. Well, we had a great time
We did.
janking off together this week. Hope y'all in chat did also.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. As usual, we'll be here every Sunday night at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Eastern. 11
which is
UT
11 p.m.
right?
UTC.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the line down. I guess I'm used to saying it, but why you should say it now? It's your job.
Oh, what? 11 UTC?
Yeah, no, the whole thing. You did
Oh,
it.
hold on. Let me do it in a special smooth radio voice. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Thank you for watching the Jank-Off with Albino Cheese Monkey and Benner Break. As usual, we'll be here every Sunday night around 7 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC. We look forward to janking with you again. Goodbye and good jank.
All right, but before we sign up, so you had some good elements there. It ended up being a little mouth breather, to be honest.
Oh,
A little bit, creep.
that's true.
Just watch it back in the recording.
Little
right,
asthma flare up, huh?
Not worse than that. Anyway, folks.
Oh boy.
Thanks for hanging out. come see Albino Cheese Monkey's evolution of his radio voice. See what he comes up with next week, and see what jank standard decks we come up with next week that we're so excited to play against. I've got mine all built and ready. And Albino Cheese Monkey probably doesn't, but has ideas.
Yeah.
So,
Oh boy, do I have ideas.
all right, good stuff. We'll see you next